Hey guys, Vika here with the Artificery Season 16 finals. We have the Gandork, our beloved head judge. Um, he's running Luke Fenn with Armored Reinforcement, and he is facing Beaconfire, who is running Kanan, Elite Chopper, Kashik Warrior, and Valor's Tribe. So, looking at the mulligan here, Beaconfire's not loving his hand, I don't think. He doesn't have Kanan's lightsaber, which is the huge piece, and he does have Ewok Ambush, which he does not want until he has Kanan's saber in place. Alright, so Gandork wins the roll. He decides to take the shields, which is probably a good idea with low health deck, though it can be scary guaranteeing access to Kanan's lightsaber if Beaconfire had it. Now he doesn't, so I think it'll turn out all right for him. Beaconfire also does not have a mod for Chopper, so he probably isn't very thrilled about that. Alright, so we always like seeing your ramp early. That's good for Gandork. Right now Gandork's probably pretty scared. Gonna see Kanan's lightsaber come out. But luckily for him, he does not, Beaconfire does not have it. Gandork also very happy to see that his opponent doesn't have Desperate Measures, which obviously can only be run in yellow villain decks. Alright, so it appears Beaconfire will be going after Luke as his first target. It's hard to say who to go after. Could be nice to take advantage of Fenn's low health, but with Luke's X-Wing coming, it certainly makes sense to go after Luke. And they're the same health right now, so Luke's a good option. Alright. So Beaconfire's keeping the warrior out of the pool to keep Into the Garbage Chute turned on. I would assume that's the reason because behind that sequencing. And I can get behind that. Okay, no, he changed off the resource, I guess, so that's not part of the plan, which is fine too. He definitely wants, or not wants, but he's okay with taking some damage. Valor's Tribe doesn't get turned on otherwise, so. Alright, so that's best side outside of resource, I guess, on the warrior, so he's happy to see that. Gandork's not able to use up that resource, so I would expect him to just instantly disrupt. Yep, and he does. So that's a little exchange Beaconfire is definitely happy with. Gandork's probably not thrilled to have eject in his hand right now. Prefer to get it a little bit later, but still good to have, especially since it appears Luke's will be the target, and there's really no reason he won't be. Alright, so that's a nice little reroll there. There's no fear of easy pickings, obviously, with no resources. So Gandork has to choose his target now. Kanan gets less appealing with 11 health and a redeploy. Chopper's also 11 health, and then they just get to shift it around as well. You know, it could even be worth just going into the Wookiee and trying to turn that heal off and actually get damage on table as opposed to sinking it into shields, but it's hard to say. They're all, yeah, I think Kanan's just fine. The problem with leaving him is that he just overwrites Anakin's lightsaber into Kanan's lightsaber, and you know, then you desperately wish that you had targeted him. Alright, so Valor's Tribe used, and Kanan gets healed 3. This is a tough call. I don't think there's any really right or wrong answer on whether it's worth doing damage and giving up lead. Alright, so I would have expected some cards to get thrown away. I think Fortitude probably should have gone. I think Riot Shield should have gone. I think Ewok Ambush should have gone, and just start digging for Chopper mods and for your Kanan's lightsaber. But it's not the case. On Gandork's side, there's nothing that can take out the X-Wing, so I'm surprised that the upgrade went on the Merchant Freighter, since that's definitely your eject target. Alright, so Hidden Motive's good here, though. You know, it's, you probably just have to accept that that 2, and you'd want to use it on Luke's X-Wing once he focuses it over, since it's worth 3. So that's probably cost some damage. But yeah, so those can add up a little. I guess we'll see. Alright, so hitting resolvable side's always nice on the dorsal turret. Beacon had gotten a little ahead of himself. Alright, so he loses Ewok Ambush, but that doesn't matter without Kanan's. And if he was going to keep holding on to it, it's probably good he just lost it so he can dig more for those chopper upgrades. Alright, so likely some shields incoming here. So I guess if Beaconfire's intention is to play into the garbage chute, huh? Okay, so that worked out well. I don't know if I love that for Gandork. because you could, you could easily have landed an easy pickings there, or in this case, into the garbage chute. I think I would have liked seeing him resolve the 2 damage, then power action and resolve the 2 damage, and basically just dodge the multi-die removal. Garbage chute obviously isn't quite the same disaster that easy pickings is, since he has to give up his warrior die. But it's definitely still something that could have been played around. Although, in fairness to Gandork, after he had the 2 blank showing and they didn't get taken away, pretty good chance that that he wasn't that his opponent wasn't holding easy pickings. All right, so now Gandork's he's in a spot where, I mean, he could be walking right into easy pickings, and I'd say he's been lucky so far. I mean, he definitely wants to do the intense fire, but could be a bit greedy. Like, you'll get. There's nothing worse than just focusing yourself into removing, your die that was lucky enough to hit the 2 damage on for Luke there, and also losing your X-Wing die in the process, so seems like Fenn's power action may have been forgotten so far, since I'm not seeing a power action token near it. I'm assuming it was forgotten for the dorsal turret last round. Alright, so 6 being threatened right now. Alright, Beaconfire takes himself out of lethal range. Out of lethal range on any of them. With intense fire in hand, though, he still can't hit lethal, but he can get close. I think he's thinking about resolving the indirect. I like that. Push something into lethal. Also, don't mind just playing it. It's unfortunate that can't get the kill immediately, but alright, so he does 6. 2 go away, but he is now in lethal range. Field Medic will get Beaconfire out of lethal range. But Luke's die is quite good. Okay, and also looking for more direct damage. Definitely not the reroll he wanted to see. But locking in the rest of those dice definitely isn't bad. With the discard. And there we go. He's got it. Alright, so Kanan is eliminated. Don't know if I guess, yeah. Okay, yeah. Never mind. Yeah, that was correct. Forgot that the Wookiee hadn't activated yet. Alright, so this has been a bad start for Beaconfire. He doesn't, you know, hitting Kanan's lightsaber now doesn't really do anything for him anymore, obviously. And he's sitting on a pile of resources with really nothing to do with them. He does have easy pickings, which will help a lot this round. There's just a lot of the 2. Nailed it. There's just a lot of the 2 damage sides floating around between Fenn and Luke and the lightsaber and the X-wing. All right, so this is why Gandork probably didn't want to put the dorsal turret on the freighter, since he's now going to almost certainly eject it. So he'll just lose it. And it's, you know, obviously extremely telegraphed. Not that it's a problem. There's really nothing your opponent's going to do about it, but it's, you know, I guess just the downside. So now the power action on the power action wouldn't have really worked. It's just a reroll when Luke's not piloting it. Alright, so efficient use of Pacify there, as he only gains 1 shield back. And it would have been good in any case there, since Fenn's not the target. So looks like Fenn's power action was forgot about, which is too bad. Alright, and Chopper gets healed up nicely. Alright, and mixed bag of a roll, but definitely quite good. I mean, you keep the 2 best sides and you get to re-roll the 2 worst sides, so you're always happy with rolls like that, where you hit some best sides and then other sides that you'll just re-roll. Alright. And on the whole, we've got 3 more damage into Luke, but still not making a huge dent into him yet. See him getting a call from El Rathian. I don't know if we can co-commentate because I don't think I have my recording set up, unfortunately, to record both of our voices, so I'll have to break the bad news to him here. Just do it on my phone so it doesn't show up. All right, so Gandork comes in hot with Seize the Day and is able to get lethal with Focused Fire, which allows him to resolve up to 2 dice at a total of +2. So definitely hit the kind of roll he wanted when he played Seize the Day, which Luke is very good at with his Starfighter, since they have such consistent dice. So I do like the action sheet in this deck. It is rule dependent, as all action sheets are, but all right, so this would explain why Beaconfire decided to not focus the grappling die. All right, so another very well used Pacify. But at this point, does look like Beaconfire's in a lot of trouble. He's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. But he can bump that up to 8 damage by overriding the salvage arm. Or just not overriding, just playing it. So he just plays it, no overwrite. And he is now showing 5 damage. Again, it's definitely not enough. So I think at this point, Beaconfire he's got to reroll for the 1 in 6 chance of lethal here. Yeah, I think that's a missed opportunity. Not that he necessarily would have got it, but I think when you're way behind, you need to play to your outs, and that was definitely an out. So Gandork is definitely happy to have an action sheet here. And plays Flank by Wingman, which is a great card, and has a beautiful roll that should end the game. It's showing 6 damage. Yeah, that ends the game. All right, so that's game 1. Yeah. All right, so that's game 1. Moving on to game 2. Beaconfire will be hoping to hit that Kanan's lightsaber right off the bat, and to hit an upgrade for Chopper, so he's not just losing that value off not getting the resource. Plus, obviously, the longer upgrades are in play, the more value you get out of them. So, all right, right off the bat, he hits Kanan's saber. which is great. He'll be tempted to take Theed just to guarantee another resource. Guarantee Kanans from round 1. I think it's definitely worth it, but he's going the other way, which is fine. The shields, I think I'd have put both on Kanan for sure, even though it definitely telegraphs. Even though it telegraphs that Kanan's Saber's coming. And it may not. Kanan's who he went after last time first. So, alright, well, he hits the resource, so doesn't matter, which is great for him. And yeah, he'll have easy pickings live, which is great. He will have Into the Garbage Chute live if he chooses that. On Gandork's side of the table, he's thrilled to see Luke's X-Wing, so he's able to use AR to pull out the Merchant Freighter, which is extremely good value, and still have his Luke's X-Wing, which is also extremely good value. So with wanting to keep easy pickings online, that's a pretty dead side on the warrior. All right, and very good easy pickings there. All right. So with the focus there, Beaconfire is obviously trying to wait out Gandork, but Gandork should just pass here and force him to go first, because he's not going to give up his 4 or 5 on Kanan's lightsaber, depending on how he decides to go. So that's definitely not what you want to do. He gets maximum value here by messing with Gandork's die and with the focus. So he goes conservative, which I think is the right call, especially with no easy pickings to consider at all. And he loses the die, but he still gets the 2 damage. Now, I guess to be fair to Gandork, if he had done 2 damage, it basically would have gone away with Valorous Tribe. So, yeah, I take back what I said here. Yeah, Gandork, I think, did play that well as the damage basically would have gone away, and a resource is still always a great side. All right, so Lothcat is now turned on effectively. Gandork goes conservative and is ready to play his eject, which I think it's fine. He has 2 copies of eject. You hate to throw him away because losing, 4 health for 0 cost is that's an insanely good card. So I understand wanting to use it. So you got to think Neiman's coming. It does put more emphasis on Kanan, but the reality is, with Valor's Tribe, Kanan's not going anywhere for a long time. He's basically right now 10 health, plus if he can do it twice, he's probably 16 health. He might be more like 19 health with 3 uses of Valor's Tribe, so there's really no downside to loading him up with these non-redeploys. Alright, and Gandork has ambush off this, so we'll see a reroll. I wouldn't mind seeing Luke's die rerolled. The 2-for-1's very live with how much money Gandork's sitting on, and with 3 sides being an upgrade, I think probably would have justified rerolling it as well. So you gotta think Fenn will be getting changed. Fenn's 2 side. I think that's probably the way to go. So I don't like this because that die's so consistent that as soon as he re-rolls, he'll be back on range, probably a better range. So I definitely would have liked to see that done on Fenn's die, which has far less damage sides and is just far less likely to get back to a 2 side. Alright, so we have 5 damage incoming. And 5 damage right back. The Neiman special, I think because of that you want to resolve the 3 immediately. And it got flipped now, and as the only it was the only upgrade die in the pool, so it was definitely going to get flipped, so that definitely had to be resolved there. Unfortunate for Gandork on that roll, but again he threw away the 3 damage by not resolving it immediately, so sucks, but it was avoidable. So we have 2 damage moved, 1 healed, and Kanan's pretty darn out of range for being killed here. So looking at the riot shield and the flank, looks like Kanan's safe. Alright, so Gandork's going to he's deciding to kind of live and die by the roll, I think, here a little bit, by putting more into Luke. Now, he obviously couldn't play that on Fenn, but so in spots like this where you have action cheat, I like rolling out Fenn first, getting some damage down, and then you can go for the kill with Luke by, upping that damage. But that said, actually, never mind. That was never an option. Yeah, that was never an option because if Kanan's holding Ewok ambush, the moment you put dice into the pool, Luke's dead. So right now, yeah, I think you just gotta sink damage. Comes up 1 short, which is too bad, but on the whole, you got to be absolutely thrilled with that roll. He'll also be happy to see that there is no Ewok ambush in his opponent's hand. So I think here Gandork definitely has to roll out. Hope he hits multiple 2s. Yeah, that's not a bad play either. Get the die out of the pool, get the shields on. Nothing wrong with that. But unfortunately now the any chance at a kill is lost, which he couldn't have necessarily known. Probably have to get Bendu's die into the pool for Gandork here. Hope that he can focus that he can hit a focus or hit more damage. But yeah, he definitely wants to get Fenn into the pool. Or sorry, get Bendu's die into the pool. Alright, it's a blank, which is too bad, but alright, so gonna get that off the focus. Probably that die was going to get re-rolled anyway, but alright, so he's going for all of it. He has a feeling there's no more removal, and not just that, he can focus it back with his Neiman die. So yeah, I don't mind going for it. It's unfortunate that it still doesn't put you in range of a kill, but I can get behind it. Alright, so with no removal, Luke's definitely dying. It's a bit too much focus there with the Neiman die. So he's showing, I believe he's showing lethal right now. What do we've got? We've got showing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, showing 10 damage. And the Neiman die being able to focus the warrior and the grappling arm's gonna push that up to 14 damage. So, now they've seen each other's lists. They know there's no sound the alarm or anything like that. So, yeah. So Beaconfire correctly just focuses to max damage. Gandork decides to hold on to Intense Fire, which at the moment is only good for +1 because Luke's dying. It'll just be Fenn and the upgrade compared to the Wookiee salvage arm and the riot shield. Alright, so Luke goes down. Another 5's going into Fenn. Alright. So Kanan's is going away. Probably keep Anakin's. But yeah, so obviously a huge difference between this game and last game. The main difference being Kanan's lightsaber being able to automatically always roll out into 4. Your choice of 4 or 5 damage is just absolutely insane. And it's the whole reason why you play the deck. So alright, so nice roll, but fortunately for him, for Gandork, opponent has a very good answer. All right, so probably take a resource here. Yeah, get out the crate. All right, and he gets aggressive. All right, and it works. He gets the full 5 in. And basically we just play it out from here, but this will almost certainly be ending right away here. Oh, and hits hot fire, and yep, that's game. All right, moving on to game 3. Let's check the clock here. All right, so I'm going to jump in chat with Elrathian, and hopefully it records from my end, but if not, it should definitely record from his end. So, hello.
My microphone hasn't been working.
I'm just testing this 2 seconds here. So,
Can you
Bo, say
guys-
something? Yeah, just say something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am saying something.
Okay, testing here, I guess.
Do I need to keep saying things?
All right, works.
Sweet.
Can you hear me there, Elrathian?
All right, Vika, I'll have the recording open.
All set?
Yeah, thank you.
You bet.
All right. So, with potentially 2 of us recording. Although it seems that Elrathian can't hear me, so it could just be one-sided
So
again.
Game 3 here, very exciting. Get matched up.
All right, so Luke's comes out. Not a terrible roll. You always like resources, but they're a bit
Resources
unneeded.
for everybody.
Definitely more happy on the warrior side of it, since his die's pretty poor, but both that side and the
dice are stuck.
disrupt side are pretty great. Especially considering he has easy picking still live, then this was a bit of a home run for Beaconfire, finding that resource.
So Vika might be joining if his voice works. Let's see what happens.
All right, so Luke's coming in hot.
Ooh.
And he has a great roll, but
no way to hook it yet.
with no base side.
But if you can hook those plus sides.
Not sure what I think of that. I feel like...
No, that's an interesting one. It's almost one where, do you want to wait? Do you... Yeah, you got a lot of 2 sides with those.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I think of that.
Maybe you wait.
I feel like the next action
For
may have been a power action out of Gandork, in which case he could have got the more valuable
he does have Kanan as a protection.
die. All right, so a very nice roll out of Kanan, but it's inconsequential since he could flip to it anyway.
Could hear me. I can hear everyone but him, and he cannot hear me.
But
We're,
with 2 base damage sides, he decides to flip to the 3, which is the correct call. And with an Ewok ambush for next round, obviously hoping to get the kill. I think this is worth a reroll. You get how have a 1 in 3 chance of putting a good chunk of damage
So let's see.
into Luke. Although because
So
he
far,
has Ewok ambush,
kind of have a lot of mitigation happening.
could have gone for Fenn.
Neither player takes any damage really. I mean, we got a net total.
So he's
of 1
valuing that field
damage
medic
that's stuck.
really highly, which I don't like. I think you want to throw it
And
away.
they're getting some sweet. Yeah, and then so you're gonna use the plot.
Oh,
or
that
go
one's
for the
worth
claim?
2 damage.
Looks like he's going for the claim.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they got that.
You
Yeah, I
suffer
don't
right
like hanging
after
on to
that.
field medic there. I think you re-roll, you take your 1 in 3 chance of getting more
Yeah, he's
free damage,
valuing
either
the
the
heal.
2 or the +3.
more than the claim.
You could sink it into Fenn at that point, and then just Ewok ambush for a kill. But and yeah, you definitely want to be digging here for upgrades for
Gandork
Chopper.
is
You don't want to keep missing that value.
ahead by 2 money.
Yeah, I definitely
Counter
would have
shields.
got rid of field medic on a reroll on the 3-cost saber die. It's got some
Beaconfire, at least from an HP
pretty good
perspective,
sides on it.
is fine.
Definitely not as good as most 3-cost lightsabers due to its
Another
incredibly
dorsal turret.
powerful on activation ability, but
It's unfortunate I cannot pick up Kaika's voice.
so the question is, what do you flip to? Fortunately, you don't get much defensive value out of this because he'll be putting it to a red or to a black side to be able to resolve it.
Kanan
Yeah.
showing
So I think
why he's very
right now we
strong.
could be looking at a totally dead Fenn, which would be
That was a
very
good
nice.
pull.
So that was a a really good discard. With both Ewok ambushes now used up, Gandork can play correctly with that information, knowing when,
Right, shield
you know,
comes out.
knowing that it's
Fuck
okay to
off.
roll your dice out and you're not going to just lose the game based on it because of Kanan's lightsaber.
Gandork about to get more rich.
So, I don't. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I don't want Luke piloting that yet. Even with the with the eject,
Always funny to see
it looks like Luke's safe for
lightsaber
the
unlucky.
round. So, yeah, you don't want to be giving up all the value of Luke's X-wing. And Luke being together, the +1 and the focus. So he gets a mixed bag of roll here, but that's fine. You know, you hit your best side on a lot of things. You hit a blank on other things. You re-roll. That's a good roll. You'd hate to hit 1 values across the board, and then you're in a tough spot of what do you do.
There's no mitigating happening.
All right, so yeah, you want to get Fenn in.
That's 6 showing. I mean, 5.
Beautiful.
7
You
now.
probably keep that
And
focus.
a focus.
Beaconfire again, making good use of Pacify, and he can take the resource off the Wookiee, which, I mean, for that die, if you can hit resource every time, you're loving it. And then
So terrifying.
And then he has to decide whether to play Field Medic
I
for
think if you're
2
Gandork, you go for
and a resource,
reroll,
or to
see if
take a
you can just
reroll.
one-shot
I
a
would
character.
take a reroll. Yeah, and just get rid of that Field Medic. So, hopefully just the blanks. No.
Oof.
Oh, that's alright.
Well, it's-
Kind of
yeah,
worked
well,
out to the
worked
same.
out great.
So in a spot like that, I like
That's a problem.
simply re-rolling the 2 blanks. Hopefully
also
one of them
means
hits
that
a
it's
desirable
probably
side and you
game.
flip the other. So with 11, he gets the kill, which is huge. Again, the Field Medic
I don't see Beaconfire coming back.
didn't
from
do
this.
anything. And the great thing is that gets around Valor's tribe. He could have used it there to heal 1 still. Yeah, so taking no chances, which
It's one of
I
the more
am
funny
a-okay with.
interactions of this set.
Though he does have 2 pieces of removal in hand, so this might be a little bit conservative, but I think that's all right. All right, so he puts 5 into Chopper. And he still has a lot more direct damage. Chopper not really hitting anything useful here.
Whenever we have worlds, this deck is going to be a serious contender.
So that would have been lethal before what he was showing.
It's a deck that I kind of overlooked a little bit in
If he'd come in on Luke's
earlier
X-Wing.
considerations.
If he'd gotten a little more aggressive.
But, what can
So
you say?
Chopper would be dead right now.
Luke is a beast.
And between Assail and Pacify, I think he could have gotten a little more aggressive. Against Valor's tribe, as often as you can, you want to
Not sure if
just deal large chunks of damage, like last round, where he was able
the
to
heal right
hit
now
Kanan
actually gains
for
too many
11 and just take him out in one go. So, with the focus,
I guess because of the field medic.
yeah. So with the focus,
But if
be
that's
able
all
to
he has, then
kill
your
the
Wookiee warrior's
Wookiee in
just gonna
one
die now.
shot, which is definitely worth it. Knock out the 2 dice. And totally turn off Valor's.
Might as well just call it, right? Like,
I mean, he's showing 7, so it's hard to say what to do. Could have taken the shield and saved Chopper, but yeah, I think this is still the right call. Kill the Wookiee.
so busted. That card.
So as it turned out, Luke only took 1 damage that round.
2 heal, 2 shields.
Obviously, this game's 100%
Sacrifice
over,
a card
but
that's been netting you $1.
If Chopper had rolled total fire, there's a chance it could be could be a live game. I don't like putting anything on Luke. Don't think there's any need. I'd have liked to see the handheld cannon on Fenn.
The dagger can steal a shield.
All right, so a huge roll there, obviously. So here comes Luke.
He just is for the one shield.
Huge roll here, obviously, and it's a pretty darn big bust. So, and that's I don't know if I love the flank by wingman there. You know, you may need that for a reroll, but yeah, I don't mind that.
Direct.
So at this point, he has to field medic, or he dies. So he'll have to do the field medic, and then should still be able to easy pick, but likely not coming out of the round alive. Fortitude's an option, but you don't want to yet. Sorry, I forgot about Fortitude. So there's a decent chance that that chopper comes out of this turn alive. But I think right now you just got to play field medic. Get out a lethal. Hopefully he uses the power action on Luke's X-Wing and you get to take both of those with easy. But in any case, you'll have time to resolve the grappling arm before you overwrite it with Fortitude. So we'll see which way he decides to go. I think that's the right call. At this point, it doesn't really matter, but now he gets to resolve the damage. Just the one extra bit of damage is worth it. He could look to get one more out of the salvage arm later on, so So, it looks like he's left himself the option of using salvage arm to do one more damage, but unfortunately it's not enough to threaten a kill at all, so Gandork could take a reroll here. If he doesn't, he's likely losing 2 dice, but they'd both be blanks. But the blanks aren't threatening, so I think this is the right call. Alright, so Gandork's going conservative. I definitely would like to see a reroll there. Try and get the remaining damage. But, I mean, by healing up, not much chance of him losing. So, it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, he could just take a resource. Heal Luke 2, take a shield, and keep him pretty well out of range of dying. You know, I kind of think I do like going conservative here, keeping the shield, taking the heal. Alright, so Into the Garbage Chute is dead. So we'll be seeing that go away. Alright, well, if he rolls very well, then could get a kill.
There we go.
And I forgot about the power action.
Last
So
match.
there we go.
So we're watching everybody.
So, congratulations to Gandork, champion of Season 16. And thank you all for watching. You know, maybe he's onto something here with Fenn Luke. Okay, goodbye everyone.